Hey, Jamal, we don't need no intro. The Indianapolis Colts let the
Playoffs?
Jackson
Talk about playoffs? You
talk,
kidding
talk to
me?
him.
Playoffs? I just hope
Playoff.
we can win a game.
I just hope we can beat the Jacksonville Jaguars once in our life in Jacksonville. The Indianapolis Colts let the Jacksonville Jaguars get their first win of the season. We fall 37-34. Now we're 2-3. The curse continues, lives on forever within Colts Nation. I have to say, I did have fun watching this game, Jamal.
Yeah, it was exciting.
But boy, the results, not happy. Where are we starting?
The fact that this is something I saw on X by Landon Oliver. He said the Colts have allowed 1,046 passing yards the last 3 weeks. Unquote. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Let us know how you feeling about this game. If you think that the Colts deserve to fire Gus Bradley, hit that like button.
Oh my god. Okay, hold on.
I'm joking. But for real though, hit that like button. Let us know what you hear. And then drop
that's
your
y'all
comments below.
scapegoat.
That's not my scapegoat. That's
Every
not my
game,
scapegoat.
y'all want to fire Gus Bradley.
That's not my scapegoat.
I heard people calling for his head during the game. I'm like,
that's why.
Can we remind everyone that the entire defensive line is on IR? Juju Brents is out basically for the season. Kenny Moore's out. Like the laundry list goes on, and I get that Gus Bradley is not the top 5, top 10, top 15 defensive coordinator in the league.
Sure.
But dang, he has no pieces to play with. You know it. But where are we starting, Jamal?
Let's start with the offense. Let's start with them.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's start with them.
Let's start with them. I mean, the first drive looked good. Joey Flacco we saw him move the ball downfield. I said, all right, well, the Colts actually look like they want to come out and play today. And then the rest of the game happened.
Yeah, you look at the box score, you're like, wow, Flacco lit it up. 33 for 44, 359 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He did have a fumble loss, which we'll talk about that. Took 4 sacks, 121.3 passer rating. If you didn't watch the game, you're like, wow, Joe Flacco, should he start over Anthony Richardson now? But let's be perfectly clear. If you are a Colts fan and you watch that game, Flacco could have played way better than that if he was more mobile and other things too. But I mean, that offense looked bland. Like it was just like a unseasoned chicken breast, skinless. For like 2 or 3 quarters of the game, bro. We didn't throw it downfield. We didn't have a run game. It was really weird until the fourth quarter. But I think we can finally put the narrative to bed that Anthony Richardson should get benched for Joe Flacco. Can we all agree with that? Come on, Jamal, agree with me.
I would agree with that. I mean, we saw how one-dimensional the team was. Obviously, now of course we can sit here and say, well, let's just say JT would have been back there. Yeah, would have been a different game. Sure, yeah, we can easily say that. But for what we got right there, when we're gonna talk about exactly what happened in this exact game, yeah, there's no question. One-dimensional. Jaguars, we talked about this pregame. Jaguars had the 29th. They were ranked 29th in QB pressures. 29, which means that this literally physically impossible for them to get to the quarterback. Physically impossible. But Joe Flacco, when we sit there in the pocket and we don't have any mobility, all of a sudden, Jaguars D-line looking like they're pretty good. Braden Smith was getting 8 for breakfast, lunch, and dinner today. And it showed. With Flacco not being able to move. Hey, listen, the boys didn't look like they were ranked 29th.
Yeah, I will say Braden Smith did get beat up a little bit. We did lose Will Fries.
That looked like
that looked like a nasty leg injury, and he was having such a great season. Really hope for a speedy recovery for the man, but it looks like he's going to be out for the foreseeable future. Shout out to Quentin Nelson. That man had a huge future Hall of Famer.
Oh,
2. It was 2.
Yeah.
First ballot.
Yeah, come on.
That's all I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, Joe Flacco still is he on statue mode, but I will say like he delivered some good passes. A lot of passes weren't great. We couldn't push the ball downfield until like the fourth quarter. Because let's talk about the big guy, Alec Pierce. Come on, boy.
1.
Yo, gotta be right.
Wow,
3 catches, 134 yards, a touchdown. And he did this on 3 catches, all 3 targets. I think he's the league leader in yards per reception. And 5 weeks in, I'm willing to say that trend's probably going to stay true, at least top 5, just because his volume of catches, it's going to be small as well, but they're always targeting him downfield, like past the sticks, way down there. He's good, man. Big play Pierce. I gotta love it. He had catch of the week too, I think, when he caught that.
Yeah,
down.
concentration.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I like Pierce. What I think I know you ain't like Alec Pierce since day one, but
what? I never said that. I did say, not listen, you already know what time it is. I always know what I say. I said that Alec Pierce had one skill, and that was the deep ball. And clearly that one skill of that getting that deep ball is paying for us now when we need it to, but we didn't get a chance to see that last year because we had nothing but check downs all year long. And I feel like we didn't get to see that a lot the year before, and so on and so forth. So he's being highlighted the way he should be now at this point, which is good. I mean, he's still the deep ball threat.
Hey, I love it. He can be the deep ball specialist if he keeps making plays like that every week. I'm loving it. Josh Downs, he was getting started early. Like to see him. He's getting targeted. Joe Flacco loves him.
Yeah,
because he knows Downs is going to get open. Downs is going to make the catch. Security blanket, boom. 9 catches, 69 yards off 12 targets. Let's have the uncomfortable conversation right now, Jamal.
So the reality of this conversation is, my man, like, first off, goodness gracious, if I can tell you how many people said business decision on X today, I got tired of seeing the word business decision. It was ridiculous. I think everybody was just copying and pasting everybody's tweets.
Oh,
it was pretty bad. But anyway, we got to talk about it, though. He's afraid to take a hit. He's afraid to take a lick. And if you're wondering who he is Adonai Mitchell. It's been made crystal clear to anybody who was everybody. If you watch the game, my man sees the footsteps and he is bobbing and weaving like he's Muhammad Ali out there. But guess what? He ain't the greatest. So you can't do that right now.
Bro, Colts Nation ain't ready for this conversation, man. Yeah. Maybe we should save it for another day. My man don't finish his routes, don't want to make the big play. I mean, he is just like y'all were saying on X, man. He's making business decisions, and it's only week 5, still a rookie, but boy,
make a catch though. You're gonna get hit. You're gonna get hit. That's just the reality of the game. Like you go, and here's the thing. None of our quarterbacks, whether that be Richardson, whether that be Flacco, whether that be Ellinger, none of those guys are going to throw hospital balls at him. Like, I don't think they're going to intentionally throw a hospital ball at him. So at some point, you got to just face the fact that every once in a while you're going to get cracked, and that's just the nature of the game.
It's NFL.
Yeah, exactly. You're at the highest of the high. You're at the elites now, so you got to expect to get hit.
I hear you, Jamal. I mean, I would say Michael Pittman. He got his 8 targets. He's still up there. Molly Cox, I would say low key has been our tight end 1. He's really good in the blocking game, so he's always going to get snaps. But again, Flacco trusted him. Should have had 2 touchdowns today. Flacco kind of overthrew him in the end zone for that second touchdown. Slightly overthrown, but boy, Mo Cox, he was making some plays too. So shout out to Mo Cox. He doesn't get a lot of love on this show, but I think this season he's been a stud.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because I'll be the first person to say I called for him to get cut after we had so many tight ends. I was like, I mean, listen, at what point do we need to keep a vet here this long when we know that we have other people who can potentially get the job done, whether that be Ogletree with his blocking, Mallory with his catching ability. Like, we have so many different tight ends out there. I personally said, hey, listen, is Mo Cox worth the money at this point? He's showing he still has. He deserves the money, and he deserves that starting roster spot for. So I eat my words, man. Come on now.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's all good. We can't be look, we gonna miss some threes, man. We can't be 100% from the 3-point line, on this show. Hey, if you're enjoying us right now, go ahead and hit that like button. It gets our video out to other Colts fans. We want to have a community. We want to have these conversations, especially these uncomfortable ones with Colts Nation. Subscribe. We're 10 subs off, 2,000 subs. Hey, Jamal, where's the run game, man? Trey Sermon, 10 carry. Look, I will say, when I was watching Trey Sermon, I could literally tell the difference from Jonathan Taylor to Trey Sermon. It was not severe. It was a clear downgrade. Taylor's different. So if anyone is, doesn't believe what I just said, go watch the last game. Go watch the game before. You can see how agile Taylor is. Not only on that first level, but He's able to find the holes, and then once he gets to that second level, he just makes the cut. His vision is elite. I saw it today that it just wasn't there, and this is a knock on Sermon. This is just how good Jonathan Taylor really is. I thought Goodson got off a few good runs, but again, he only had 5 carries. Shane Steichen obviously did not trust this running game, wanted to get the passing game going. That's just how it was with this offense today, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And just to kind of touch on what you're saying with the difference between those two guys, Sermon and JT. JT, as you mentioned, has the ability to kind of sit at the line, similar to how LT used to do, and kind of see the hold open up and develop, and then boom, once he sees it, he attacks it. Sermon has explosive speed. Let's not say that he doesn't, because you can see the way he attacked some of the gaps that were there. He hit it hard. However, when you don't have that vision, even if you hit the gap hard, it doesn't matter. You may get that 2 or 3 yards that you want, but someone like JT could have probably broken off a 15, 16, 17, probably 30, 40-yard run off of some of those gaps that were there. So that's just like you mentioned, some of those things that are different between those two guys.
It really sucks missing JT and Anthony Richardson. Colts offense still put up 34 points today. I mean, against one of the worst teams in the NFL, so I can't be like, Jaguars defense wasn't much of a battle.
They only put up 34 because they had to. If they didn't have to, they'd have put up 17. If it could have been 17-14, then they would have dropped 17 points. That's the reality of it.
Let's talk about this defense, man. We just let Trevor Lawrence have a career day against us. I mean, he's just his splits against the Indianapolis Colts. You would think this man is prime Aaron Rodgers. I mean, pass rush was non-existent this game. I mean, Trevor Lawrence had the cleanest pockets of all time in this game. I don't think we had a single defender touch him. I mean, his jersey is clean. Like, they don't even need to wash that. Doesn't need to go to the laundry. He could wear that the next game if they are home. Look. And the crazy part is Lawrence completed like 23% of his passes, like on average, coming in this game. Not literally, but look, I think they had a really low completion percentage coming in this game. And then oh my God, what did he throw for? 28 for 34, 371 yards. And like you said, that stat we talked about at the beginning of the pod, Jamal, what was it? How many yards has the quarterbacks of the opposing team put up?
1,046 passing yards over the last 3 weeks.
That's great. That's really great. Lawrence, he threw a bad pick too. Like, he even tried. He was like, "Look, I'm not this good, guys. I'm gonna give y'all the ball. I'm gonna give y'all the ball back here. Like, I'm gonna show y'all what I'm really made of." He literally he made a bad decision, and Nick Cross got that pick, which was he was covered well by Nick Cross the entire time. I don't know why he threw that again. But Lawrence came in and cooked us today, just as expected. I just knew the Colts, man, we just love to give career days for quarterbacks this season. But look, stop talking about Gus Bradley. This defense is severely injured. If this defense was 85% healthy, 80% healthy, I would say, okay, wow, Gus Bradley, you have pieces to work with. But literally, that defensive line was decimated. And it showed, Jamal, and it showed. We're losing that battle. We don't have a pass rush anymore. I don't know. I just can't sit here and just let's blame Gus Bradley for the entire game.
Yeah, you can't. That's not fair to blame him for the entire game. First off, I just want to say that I know, like, Jaguars fans don't even care about Christmas whenever they see that they play the Colts for a home game, like, before Christmas. None of that stuff even matters. They probably like that. I'm surprised it's not a city holiday in Duval County whenever they see the Colts on the schedule, because it is. I mean, it doesn't make it don't make no. When I saw how empty that stadium was, I said, that's how you know they don't even care that they're gonna win this game, like, because they know it's a freebie. They're like, nah, we ain't gonna show. Tickets were $79 for club seats today. I look anyway. Different story. Yeah. For 4th row club seat, $79, you could have gone and see the Jaguars play against the Colts. But going back to the defense, like you're saying, like you said, you can't blame Gus Bradley for everything. You truly can't, because there are a lot of injuries. The only thing that I will say, that I kind of will counter that with, is the fact that there have been 0 changes to this defense, less adding maybe one defensive end who we picked that number 15 spot this year in the draft. We're still talking about a defense who was a bottom tier defense last year. Nothing's changed. So, like, even though we don't have all of our starters in there, I still feel the same about our defense that I did, where we can't expect them to all of a sudden be superstars when they weren't last year. Like, you have the exact same crew. Nothing has changed. If you do the same thing over and over again, expect a different result, you're insane. So
is that a Bradley problem or is that a Ballard problem?
I think it's both. I mean, I think it's both.
Does Bradley have that much weight?
I think that Bradley has a lot of confidence in his players. I don't think that Bradley, if he didn't have that much confidence in his players, I think that he would be going toe to toe with Ballard every single week or every single offseason to make sure, I can't say every single offseason, he's only been there for 2 years, but every single week, to make sure that the most optimal players in position. So I think that it's a double-edged sword where both are at fault. Obviously, we know the lackadaisical stuff from Ballard. He doesn't give two shits about what he has going on in this organization. That's crystal clear, but that's a different story for a different day. But I think Gus Bradley definitely has his hands tied when it comes to some of the decisions being made. But at the same time, you also got to think that, like, as a defensive coordinator, you have pull. Like, you do have pull, and if you're not willing to, I don't know, figure out something within the defense besides just switching up a couple personnel players whenever an injury happens, then I got to put blame on you as well. But it does not fully go on Gus Bradley. Let's be crystal clear about that.
Yeah. Look, Dallas Flowers got cooked today. We really miss you, Stephon Gilmore.
He is a meme now.
I think the lack of the pass rush really exposed the secondary today. Like, it was on full display. I would say my boy Sam Womack, I mean, he's still cooking a little bit, but Jalen Jones he had some good plays today, but he also got cooked because I think the Jacksonville Jaguars had like 6 or 7 explosive plays on us. Yeah. And by explosive, I mean about over 20 yards. Tanks Bigsby took off for a 65-yard run. Brian Thomas Jr. had that 85-yard reception for a touchdown. Christian Kirk, 61-yard. I mean, we allowed ourselves to get beat, over the top, and then also in the run game. I mean, if you subtract that 65-yard run, I think we kind of stopped the run today. Like, they didn't even need to. They could just kill us through the passing game.
Right.
But, you subtract that big Bigsby run, and that it doesn't look as bad. But, man, I will say EJ Speed made some good plays today. He had that big missile hit. I saw Franklin get a good one. Nick Cross, I think. I mean, look, I wanted my boy Justin Simmons, but look, Nick Cross has been – I think Nick Cross has been playing pretty well this season for his first season, just kind of fully starting. So, but this defense, it's just the defensive line. It has become just nothing. I can't tell you all the starters on the defensive line now. It's a massive rotation now, so there isn't really someone clearly like just stepping in every snap. But man, it's a struggle right now.
Yeah, it is a struggle, and honestly, that's one thing that I was trying to express during the preseason, or I should say during the offseason before the season started, when we were talking about, well, this defensive line that had 51 sacks last year, et cetera, did all this stuff. But that goes back to what I was saying, even with them producing that many pressures on the quarterback, that many sacks, it didn't really matter in the secondary when it came down to the thick of it. And right now, when we have a team, I think we came into this game with 12 sacks, which is like 10th in the league, I think it was, or a flip-flop, maybe 10 sacks, which is 12th in the league, one of the two. But it doesn't matter because we're still getting cooked. We're still getting cooked, in the secondary. And obviously, we're not getting to the quarterback to even make it a challenge for them. So it's like, any
NFL quarterback's going to cook if they get a clean pocket. Look, I'm like, do you know how many defensive ends and tackles we had just on the line today? Do you know who Adam Gotsis is?
No.
Exactly. That's my point, man.
Yeah.
We're struggling right now. I mean, Kwity Paye's back out there, but like, no D-Buck, no Ibukam. It's just. It's not great, man. It's not great.
It's not.
So yeah, this defense got exposed today. Man, we knew this was gonna happen, man. We knew it.
Yeah. It's just one of them days, man. You take it and you keep it moving because, like I said, you ain't gonna change nothing about what happens when we go to Jacksonville. I'll be curious to see how the team bounce back. Blah blah blah. Same song and dance we say all the time. But we'll see what happens. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we got the Tennessee Titans next week. I would say that's we feel better going into them because we don't have that curse looming over our heads, and they're sorry too. So, well, I mean, don't get it twisted, Jaguars fans. Y'all got your first win of the season. Yeah, like not too much celebrating going on. Y'all still cheeks. But Titans, we coming for you next. Yeah, it sucks, but we were missing a lot of starters today, especially on offense. Two of our biggest weapons. Well, one, and then one of our potentially franchise quarterbacks. So that's all I have. That's all I have, Jamal.
That's it. Let's get ahead and get ready for what next week coming up. Like you said, another divisional game. I mean, listen, we can't lose any more divisional games. That's just the truth of it. We've lost 2
fact
now.
Of the matter.
So, we can't lose any more. We got 4 more left. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. Get back to 500. That's going to be it for us, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Colts Cast. We are live on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or any platform you use to listen to podcasts. And we'll be back next time to give you some more Indianapolis Colts content. Later.
Take it easy.